I'm here today to announce that I support the fair tax. And for those of you who don't know what the fair tax is, what it basically does is eliminate taxes on income, savings, capital gains, basically all the productivity taxes that we presently pay, and replaces it with a 23% consumption tax on luxury items. So when you go out and buy necessities, you would not be taxed on those necessities. But when you go out and buy a luxury item, you would be taxed based on that. In addition to cutting taxes and being virtually the largest tax cut in American history for the middle class, saving middle class families probably around $10,000 each year, you would also eliminate the IRS and therefore save the federal government over $340 billion in administrative cost. Everybody would pay taxes if they wanted to buy goods. You'd be everybody who wanted an iPod would be paying a higher tax on that iPod, but anybody who worked hard in a factory to make their paycheck would not have to pay any tax on that paycheck, and those who invest in the stock market and made a gain would not have to pay a tax on it, and those who were saving up for a home would no longer pay taxes on the money they save. So it like its name, it does make our tax code fair. It changes it. It ends the IRS. It brings home nearly $10 trillion in the economy, brings back the Made in America. It helps create new jobs in this country, keep jobs in this country, and help make us make products again. It would be a good stimulus. It would be the largest tax cut and would be fiscally responsible. That's why I support the fair tax. Now, those of you who are not convinced about the fair tax, many believe that the fair tax would create a underground economy. There's an underground economy right now, when in fact the fair tax would end that. So when prostitutes and pimps and burglars go out and buy something they want, they would pay a higher tax on that instead of the money that they supposedly, well, quote unquote, earn. I don't know what you'd call that. Or get. So everybody would be paying taxes. The people who cannot afford to pay taxes pretty much probably would not be paying taxes, but that's only because they can't afford to, not because they are, not because if they could afford to buy a luxury item, they would pay tax on it. So the fair tax really fares out the tax code, do the largest tax cut in our nation's history. It would save money, and it would help the middle class and create jobs in this country, and that's why I support the fair tax.